Hello, comrades. It is the Crasher again, and today I have something very special for all of you. I am clashing Love Letters from Hell by John Mouse. Now, without further ado, let's clash! So, hey guys, what's up? Did you like my, lay funny random XD May intro there? So this is gonna be kind of like a Leafy is Here video, except instead of a mentally challenged man raving into a microphone about content on the internet that he personally dislikes, I'm an actually socially functional human being talking about music. That's what we normal people do. We take up hobbies and things like music and don't concern ourselves with what some kid on the internet dares to do. So, I know I said I wouldn't make any reviews until I got my new webcam, but, I couldn't pass up I just couldn't pass up an excuse to make money off. An opportunity to review one of my favorite John Mouse albums. For today, my friends, is my little CD 60th birthday. My little album's growing up. Today, taking his driver's test, and tomorrow going off to college. I'm sorry, excuse me for a moment. So, yeah, this is as far as we know, John Mouse's first studio album. I say as far as we know because he has tracks found on old cassettes and stuff dating back to 1994. But these could very well have been some two-song one-off cassettes passed around at swap meets. So for now, I'd just call it his first studio album. A little backstory. This album was released in October of 2000 on John Mouse's and Ariel Pink's shared label, Demonstration Bootleg. They released John's and Ariel's early discography, and they did a lot of re-releases of music they particularly liked. There were about 21 releases that we know of, and this album itself is sort of something that I like. It's sort of bittersweet, not in the sense that it's sad, but in the sense that I kind of, I'm sort of lukewarm towards it, I guess you could say. On one hand, it has some of his best songs, but a lot of the other songs are just very either too poppy, like It's Time to Die, or they just feel like musical sketches much more than they do coherent songs. For example, songs like, Love Letters from Hell, It's Time to Get a Job, Sleep, I Hate Music, that's a very good one, are, very well put together. They seem very finished. They have very catchy melodies. They're pretty upbeat. And, they have very funny messages with the low vocal range that you would expect from John Mouse. And it really is like, how you would expect one of John Mouse's songs to be. There's some very good songs in that sense, that they really are, very good examples of John Mouse's songwriting at its best. But, on the other hand, you have stuff like Big Dumb Man, Times is Weird, and Time to Die, which are just like way too poppy. I don't like the new wavy keyboard, but maybe that's what some of you come to John Mouse for. I don't really know. And others are just, they feel barely finished, being too short in the case of Fish with Broken Dreams. I like that song, very beautiful song, but it's only a minute and a half. I feel it could have done some of his excellent keyboard jamming on, which thankfully on the re-release on A Collection of Rarities and previously unreleased material, he expands a bit, and that version is fantastic. With others, however, like Big Dumb Man or I've Got Problems Man, there's a comma in there, so that's why I had the little half stop, but they just sort of feel unfinished, very skeletal in the sense that, you've got a very prominent bass beat, and the drum machine and keyboards are almost inaudible. It's really just the vocals and bass you're hearing. And just sort of, it's like rhythm guitar. It's like if you had lead guitar in a song without rhythm guitar, just with keyboard. Lead keyboard, not rhythm keyboard, if that's a thing. But, yeah, I quite like this. A lot of these songs were re-released or remade on Love Is Real and Songs, two of John Mouse's releases on major labels, and those are usually the more poppy of these songs, the ones that they're kind of new wave for my taste. It's Time to Die, stuff like that with its very dance beat and the upbeat keyboard. It's all sort of bland and poppy for me. I really like it's more, I guess you could say, rockin' song. So in all, this album has some very good moments, some not so good moments, but it's it's a gem worth checking out for any John Mouse fan, especially if you're into his more early written stuff. Um, a lot of it's been re-released on stuff like Songs. You could look up a list of what song was re-released on what, and if you like those songs, then you should totally check it out. I mean, just shy of the 8 or so tracks on it that I like, there's a lot of good stuff on there, not just for someone who's fans of John's very keyboardy new wave stuff, but anyone who just wants to hear the evolution of his music. I feel it's a very good gem to pick up. Overall, I quite like it, just some of the songs aren't too great, in my opinion. Another point of interest when it comes to this album is this promotional EP released in 1999. It's 6 tracks, as far as we know, though according to some, it's 8 and we're missing the first 2 songs. I personally don't believe this, because what we have is about EP length, and Maniac is quite an album intro track, in my opinion at least. It consists of tracks from the album, a track, Maniac, that would later be released on I Want to Live. It sounds like they're all from different masters, and it has 2 untitled piano tracks in it, track 2 and track 4 and track 8. But it varies in audio quality from its songs. It's a very moody recording. Some of the songs are very washed out and quiet, while others feel very polished. Most of this I didn't really enjoy. It's very, radio play hits, which I suppose is what you want on a EP. But it's an oddity worth checking out if you like Love Letters from Hell. And the reason I'm bringing this up, because it's not this album's birthday or anything, is for many years we thought we didn't have the cover, but recently I was scanning through the coding for an archive of its sale listing, and I found the image currently up on screen. It's so low quality because the original was 140 by 140 pixels, and I felt that would be kind of a dick move just to have you looking at this tiny image on the YouTube screen, so at least this is kind of bearable. It's a snowy wasteland with 2 dead trees. Well, I shouldn't say dead, trees without leaves. I'm sorry, scientific accuracy. I get yelled at for that more than you think on my streams. So yeah, these 2 John Mouse releases, Love Letters from Hell and the Snowless Winters EP. Are they worth checking out? Would I recommend them? Yes. Are they some of my favorites? It depends what you mean by favorites. There's some of my favorite John Mouse albums, not necessarily my favorite albums overall. But yeah, I'd totally recommend this if you're a John Mouse fan, you'd like to hear his earlier music. Yeah, quite like this album. I'd have to say a 6 out of 10 if you wanted me to rate it on a number scale. But yeah, that was John Mouse, Love Letters from Hell. I'll be seeing you guys later. Hopefully I'll actually have a new webcam by the next video. Probably not. I have other albums to review. See you later, guys.